Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Las Vegas Raiders and the San Antonio Dreadnoughts. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And CD, you look at our featured team here. They're squaring off against a very tough unit to throw against.
And this is not one of the better passing offenses in the league to begin with, Brandon. And to illustrate that point, they're down near the bottom of the power ranking, so the focus is going to need to be on possession-type throws. Whether they're trying to use their running backs or tight ends a little bit more, the big thing is to make sure the quarterback gets it out of his hands quickly to his receivers, and they hope to gain an advantage that way.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Taking in at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6-year quarterback.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right. I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Knight. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Knight. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Off the play fake. Knight. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. They'll look to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Las Vegas sending out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Here's Murphy. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be let out by their left-handed quarterback.
I like this guy. And the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Forced to the ground and incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Patton. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Knight. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. The number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line. And these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. Off-play action. Knight. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs. So a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right? In preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 102 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync. And that bodes well this late in the season.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They'll look to throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense, because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to next-gen stats. Wow. Back to throw here. This will be caught at about the 6. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Back to throw again. Touchdown! A great effort there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Dreadnoughts get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So out come the Raiders. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Throwing to start the drive. Knight.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Now a dump off here complete. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, Knight. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early, but it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Here's the Raiders punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And they will take over first and 10. Back out comes San Antonio. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now a give, right side. Patton, he'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Patton, and a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. The quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Past the 20. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 2nd down now, it's Patton. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll look to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter as that's a first down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. On 2nd down, it's Patton. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, San Antonio in possession. This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. He finds his receiver left side. This is Patton. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
I know we saw the pass and the completion and obviously the resulting loss of yardage. To me, that play broke down with the blocking on it. Because if you're going to try and swing it that far outside, that blocking's got to hold up to give your guy a chance.
And the defense, they weren't fooled at all.
No, not at all. Boy, were they aggressive on that one.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Knight. It's complete to Williams. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Knight. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of him had almost no chance to block him. They were on him in a hurry.
The offense on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball in his hands a lot quicker.
Las Vegas sending out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Jackson. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 2nd and 3. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 40. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 26. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Throwing on first down. Knight. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. To throw on second down. Knight. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Eluding the pressure right. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. It's caught by Jackson. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll look to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up second down. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. Finding space at the 40. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 70th catch for him on the year. Like so many others, this goes for a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Now back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back to throw now on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jackson. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. They'll drop to throw. This one complete to Patton. And they'll work this down inside the 30. They'll look to throw here on first down. And the catch made, it's Patton. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue. But all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin out in Houston, and it's the Flyers who have the lead. Mike Gillislee responsible for the lone touchdown in the game thus far as he's thrown a touchdown pass. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you, and they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. The Saints trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. On now to a check on the next-gen stats for the Raiders in that first half, and they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half, and it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, on the other side, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts, as you can see the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
2nd and 11. Throwing middle, and it's complete. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, Patton, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 9 now. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He finds his man, complete. That's Patton. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Calling a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll look to throw again. That's caught by Jackson. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
illegal touching. Offense.
So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll set up to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Dreadnoughts take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Point after, right down the middle. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. A CD, after this game, there will be 4 weeks left in the regular season. So this is far from the final version of what we'll see come January, more of a first draft, if you will, as all these teams fight for a better position.
And you pointed it out, so
trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Caught outright by Patton. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. They bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance, because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This is caught by Williams. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Looking to throw. Knight. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. Back to throw. Knight. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision could get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Back to throw again. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. From the 5, here's 2nd and 2. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Dreadnoughts add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. The partner, he has carried them in this ballgame throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And if you're wondering just how quickly that sack occurred, the next-gen stats tell us 2.6 seconds is all he had to throw the football.
So a risky move that does not pay off. And, Charles, you take it from the defensive perspective, they had to be a little offended there that they even tried to go for it back inside their own 20.
Highly offended. And they took the ball away and gave it to their offense in a great situation. But when you look at this thing in total, when you start taking chances like that, you know what that means? You're going to have to take more chances later, right? When you don't convert, that just means you got to double down on it. So we can see this thing pile up as we go on.
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
2nd and 4. That's complete right around the 8. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 7. Touchdown! A great play there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Dreadnoughts stretch this 4th quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed watching their execution throughout this contest.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
To throw on 3rd down, Knight. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Calling a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not 1 bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
Here's the Raiders punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
On 2nd down now, it's Patton. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. They'll look to throw. He's got his guy. It's Patton over the middle.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On first down, Patton. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Back to throw. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. On 3rd down, it's Patton. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
They'll run on first down. Patton, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down, it's Patton.
On a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 64 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They'll keep it on the ground. Patton. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll try the left side. It's Patton. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for San Antonio, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.